Hey, welcome back everybody, and it's still technically Shudder Saturday, and I'm going to be talking about another Shudder original that's currently streaming right now on the Shudder channel. Slashback takes place in the Arctic Circle. It's about a group of young teenage friends that are kind of just hanging out all the time. They just want to live their typical teenage lives. They're kind of not really into the tradition of their parents, but they're okay with it. The film has a very coming-of-age kind of vibe when it first starts off, even kind of something more like The Goonies. But what's the best kind of movie that takes place in an Arctic Circle? Something with aliens. Yes, this young monster squad comes across an alien species not too far from their hometown. This film plays definite homage to the movie The Thing and also Slither. The film definitely makes great use of its location, also for the fact that the sun doesn't really seem to go down. Which I think is pretty cool because we've seen plenty of horror movies where there's absolutely no sun. Now this time around we get a horror movie that's in the daytime. I really like that the film focused on the agriculture and also to the traditions and the culture of the hometown. And also that the film just focused on this young group of friends. I think that's pretty cool. And the film definitely plays homage to the movie The Thing, and the movie knows it and it acknowledges that. Overall, I thought this movie was pretty cool and pretty entertaining. The special effects were okay. When the CGI is taking place, it's just kind of alright. I think mostly because of the fact is the film takes place during the day, and the CGI has really nowhere really to hide. But when everything was practical, it looked pretty good, especially during some of the foot chase scenes. Those were actually done pretty well. I would say if anything was weak in this movie, I would say it was probably some of the acting and some of the dialogue. For the most part, the acting is pretty decent, but there are some moments where it kind of goes a little too long. And you can kind of see where the acting's kind of like falling apart.
Hey, Dad. I missed you.
I'm not sure how the script was in this movie, but it kind of looked like a lot of the young actors were given the freedom to ad-lib. But it looked like there were some moments where the other actors were kind of just standing there waiting for the person to finish their line and then get their cue to start speaking.
Do you like stuff?
There is something that happens at the end of the movie that's kind of like a big trend right now, and that's kind of annoying me. And that's when you have 2 or 3 characters. One character's fighting something off, one other character is kind of trapped trying to get themselves out, and then you have a third character that's not doing anything, that's just standing there. They can either pick up the weapon and help, or help one of the other persons out that's trapped. Other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a good watch.
Get more out of life. Go out to a movie.